Hello, welcome back to HLS Crypto. My name is Dan. Big money is going to flow into AI. I think we can all accept that now. It's an inevitable, it's coming. This is what's going to be a big narrative in this bull run. AI is going to be everywhere. It's going to influence most aspects of everyday life for human beings, and that's the way it's going to go. And some people may say that, ethically, is that a good thing? Well, ethically, probably not. However, it can do good things as well. But there's a train of thought that things like this movie here, this is called Transcendence. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, I implore you to watch it. It is it's from 2014. We're now in 2024. Some people say that life imitates art. Now, I'm more conspiratorial in my nature, and I think that this is something called. Well, I know that there's something called uh, predictive programming or pre-programming. So they'll show you things that you think are outlandish, but over time you'll become to accept it because they've shown you it, and it's kind of the way things go. So some people think that life just imitates art. I think there's a lot more behind it, and the powers that be, and I know that's probably some people call it the Matrix or whatever. The powers that be like to drip feed you things along the way in order to almost prepare you mentally, so it's not such a big sharp shock. Um, but there's big money to be made, and that's what we're here for. At the end of the day, there's something I want to show you. It's a project, an AI project called Sensay. But the first thing I want to show you is the light paper, not the entire light paper, just this very opening page. Now, if you want to have a good look through the light paper, I suggest you do that. But I think this is interesting. It's you forever. Now that's a scary concept in the world, right? That there's going to be this omnipotence almost, or just never dying. Now there's a lot of positives regarding that as well, which I'll come to when we talk about how this actually works, because I think it's quite interesting. How they're going to do it, I'm not 100% sure, but there are layers to this that will pull on human heartstrings, I think. So unlock the potential of digital immortality with Sensay. We are pioneering the creation of autonomous digital replicas, a digital replica, but that can be not only you now, it can be the dead, it can be ancient philosophers, it can be Steve Jobs, any like person that you'd like to sit there and talk to or interact with or listen to. Because don't forget that I could read a book every day. Well, I couldn't because I haven't got the time, but if I did, I could read a book every day and then gain a certain amount of knowledge from doing that. However, AI can read every book ever written in such a short period of time and become the most intellectual being that will ever exist, and that's the concern. It's a worry because they're going to know so much more. They're going to know us better than we know us, right? So it's a bold step towards your digital twin. The venture is not just a technological leap, but also a new chapter in how you perceive identity and legacy in a digital era. At Sensei, we understand the profound impact that digital technology has on our lives, an increasing profound impact, by the way, as well. Our mission is to harness the power to create digital replicas that are not mere imitations, but dynamic, evolving entities. That's a scary thought if you think about it, but it will be a thing. It's going to come. Don't get left behind. Essentially, these replicas built using cutting-edge AI and machine learning algorithms. Algorithms are obviously massively important, particularly in the YouTube sense, which is why you should hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you are enjoying it, because that helps the algorithm push this video out a bit further. So they're designed to think, evolve, and interact autonomously, offering a unique continuity of personal presence. And I invite you to be part of this groundbreaking journey. His name is also Dan. That's maybe a good thing. I like the name Dan. It's mine. Founder of Sensay, so that's interesting. So here's the website itself, and you can actually chat directly now to Dan using this AI replica. You can chat with the AI replicas, and I'll show you a little bit along them lines in a little while. So this is your personalized AI agent, decentralized and valuable knowledge and indistinguishable lifelike AI agents for organizations and individuals. So big business will use these as well. I imagine this is going to be a massive thing. The Oxford Artificial Intelligence Society are also in there now, and top 3 for product of the day by Product Hunt. I think this is interesting. So it's a pioneer in digital immortality with authorized AI, autonomous personal replicas. Sensei digital replicas simplify the creation of digital intellectual capital and unlock a wide range of applications. So I'll show you the token as well in a little while. It's based on Ethereum. that's slightly annoying. I would have liked to see it on a bit of a cheaper chain in order, for fees and things like that, in order for more people to be able to get involved. I think that, when there's less fees, it's a bit more helpful for newcomers and for people who are not used to these Ethereum gas fees. It's designed to empower new users and drive platform growth. Platform revenue is used to buy back the token, which I think is really, really bullish. Facilitates transactions within Sensay, including subscriptions, staking opportunities with substantial rewards as well, and governance participation in decision-making processes, which I think is interesting because you have a say on how things are going to go, next steps and things like that. So Train and Simplified. So this is some of its unique features. Train and Simplified is upload chat history, links to social media accounts, links to YouTube videos and video files, text files, PDFs or images. Sensay will automatically obtain all the information required for training. You can share stories. You can tell Sensay all about your past and present to capture precious moments, which it reminds me a little of a Black Mirror episode. I don't know if you've ever seen Black Mirror. I think it's popular in the US as well, but I think it was a British creation, but it's very interesting how they kind of show the dark side of technology. I think Black Mirror is basically like when your phone goes off and it's just got that black screen. I think that's where they come from because you can see your face in it. It's Black Mirror. Multiple ways to train assistants. So train your assistant with video, website, documents, or just by chatting. More training, better replicas. So talk to Athena a little every day to understand more about you to become a better replica. So the more information you provide with it, the more it'll understand your ways of thinking, what you think, how you believe things, and it'll create more and more and become a better version of yourself, which is again slightly worrying, right? So how it works now, you can have a look at this yourselves. The website is literally in the top left hand side of your screen. You can see that there. You can type that in, have a little look, and it just shows you how it works. A couple of videos there if you want to watch them. I think they're quite interesting. Then it's got its roadmap. So at the minute, we're at Q4 2024. Obviously, increased market share in the subscription and Q&A segment by 2% within the first year of full release. Launch customized learner modules, aiming for a 1% market share in the e-learning sector. The e-learning sector itself is absolutely massive. The AI sector itself is obviously, quantifiably bigger. But for a 1% share in any kind of sector, it's going to give you decent returns, I would imagine. Again, not financial advice, but we'll go into the actual token in a little while. So 2025 and 2026 is what we're heading into. They want to form brand partnerships for sponsored intellectual collaborations, aiming for a 1% market share in influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is quite a big thing, not from Instagram to X, YouTube, Twitch. It's growing. It's a growing sector. Host exclusive webinars and online events, targeting a 1% market share in the online events industry. That's obviously becoming more of a bigger and bigger thing now, particularly since the virus. Expand service offerings to international markets, focusing on achieving a 1% market share in new regions. Secure a 2% market share in the global AI social media segment after international expansion. Official release of the Sensay app, which will obviously bring a lot of users. Enhanced AI algorithms to capture a large share in the AI personalization market, which obviously is now a new market that's going to be really evolving and growing rapidly. I would say it would be a rapidly evolving sector. Penetrate new industries with AI replicas, targeting a 1% market share in each new sector. And then you've got your tokenomics here. You can take a look at those. So basically 20% went to public sale, 15% to platform development, 10 to team and advisors, 10 to future team and advisors, 10 to community incentives, 5 for partnerships and collaborations, 10% marketing, 5% exchange listing, 15% reserve funds. And again, like I said, we'll check it out in a little while, the actual token price and things. So then you've got the team, heavily experienced team. You can flick through these if you want, but you can also, again, like I say, you can click these and chat with the AI replicas, which is freaky stuff. So then have a little look through, see what you think, check the LinkedIn page, just see what you think. You've always got to do your own research on these things and decide whether you think this is a project that will do well for you. Then you've got its features. So digital replicas, we know that they're going to try and do that. They're going to create their own digital replica. You can do it for your family, friends, loved ones, and carers to interact with and help offer the best care during a difficult transition. So I think of this like I've lost a grandparent due to dementia. I wonder whether this generation of people, maybe mine, maybe the one like behind mine, might use this a lot so that because human beings essentially, when we pass away, we're only kind of like after our grandchildren go, your great grandchildren, and then maybe one down from that won't ever remember what you were, who you are, what you look like, your thoughts, your feelings, and a lot of that gets lost. With this, it would be retained. So future generations can look back and speak to, ancestors. And although that feels like a really good thing, is it something that should happen? So it's an ethical question, and I'll leave that down to anyone. You can have your own thoughts on this. I've got my own thoughts and opinions on it, and I think it'll do really, really well in terms of, I think people will sign up to it. I think new shiny toys, and I think people, excuse me, I think people will absolutely do this, and it'll become a big thing. I'm convinced it'll be the next big thing. But again, there's ethical question marks. But if it helps people through grief, if it helps people through difficult times, then I'm all for it. There's always if it's going to prevent you from feeling low, and obviously there's a lot of people who've got depression out there who might want to just speak to their partner who they've lost, or their mum, or their through death and things like that. It might be something that could really keep people focused and give them that a little bit of joy. So in that regard, it's absolutely brilliant. But I don't think there's an altruistic type to this. I think there's still levels to it. So companions, again, that would help. I think there's a lot of lonely people out there, and companions can really help. Memory lane, again, I've said this before. You can literally speak to people from the past. But then from another point of view, like Plato, you've got Muhammad Ali, inspirational people that you might want to communicate with. The options are here, and I think this is why this is going to be huge. I think this is going to be huge. Emotional support, again, very important. Safety and reminders and adaptive learning. Again, come and have a look at this and see what you think. It says like chat to over 200 replicas of your favorite personalities, and I'll show you that in a second as well. Here's some of the partners. A lot of decent ones. You've got Layer Zero, Fetch AI, 11 Labs who do the you can upload your own voice, and it'll basically play anything you want, which is, again, quite scary, but it's interesting. These are your replicas. So these are ones that are currently there. Aiden Ross, I think he's some sort of, is he Twitch? I don't know, Kick or something, I don't know. But Abraham Lincoln. Andrew Tate, obviously a very polarizing individual. But Albert Einstein, you can go in, and Aristotle, some fantastic ones. Barbie, I'm not so sure about, but it is what it is. BitBoy, obviously massive in the world. Bruce Willis this is a good example, actually. Bruce Willis, love Die Hard. It is a Christmas film, before anyone says anything as well. I really like Bruce Willis, but he's suffering from, I think it's Parkinson's or something like that, or Alzheimer's. So for his family, that must be a very difficult time, and obviously our heart and love goes out to everyone affected by it, and including Bruce Willis and his family. Could this be something that they would be able to use to interact with Bruce after the event? And that might be a great thing. It might be a good thing. Tell me how you'd feel about that. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm like, I remember life before digital, and I'm part of it after it. And there's certain little crossovers that I'm not sure about, but I know it'll do well. You can create your own there as well. Here is its X page. It's got 37.5, nearly 1,000 followers. Doing really, really well, I think. I have followed it myself. I should have done that a while back. Now, here is the price, and the problem with this is obviously it's a fucking great big green candle. And the worst thing you can normally do is buy a fucking great big green candle. However, it is down 10.5% on the day, but I still want to see a bit of a retracement before I buy some of this. I will be buying some of this, though, without any shadow of a doubt. I'm going to get some. But for full transparency, I haven't got any yet. I still think we can get this at a bit of a better price. This is the max chart, by the way. So there's been a long time to accumulate this, and I haven't. So I'm a bit of an idiot. Probably should have done it down here. Haven't been able to do that. But if we can get maybe down to here, this section, then I'll try and load up a nice bag. But here is your 24-hour chart. So it's kind of within range. It's not really peaking or troughing too much. But the most important one of this, I think, is the max chart, because if I can get my little head a little bit further away, the max chart, if this just comes down slightly, maybe 20-30%, I think then would be a time to pick some up. Again, not financial advice. It's only got a nearly $44 million market cap. I think if that goes sub 40 million, then it's definitely a play. Its all-time high was quite recent, only 23 hours ago. So 10.9% down from that. Another 20% retracement, then I think I will definitely be all in. Like I said, I'm not telling you to buy big red candles, but big green candles. But if you want to, you're more than welcome. I prefer to buy the red days, the dips, and things like that. If you want to buy it now, buy it now. It's not financial advice. However, I just feel as though, can you stomach if it does retrace? That's the issue. But I'm super bullish on this. I think it's going to do really, really well. I think it's quite innovative. Like I said, there's ethical question marks, and there always will be, but that's down to yourselves. You'll all have your own thoughts and opinions. I'd like to hear about them in the comments below. It'd be interesting to see how this debate, transpires over not next couple of weeks, but the coming years, and how some people think that AI is having too much of an impact on people's lives, and others prefer it to have a bit more. So we'll see. Right, we're going to leave it there. So whatever you think about this, make sure you do me a favor and hit the like button. I really do appreciate you guys do that. Comment as much as you can. Subscribe if you can as well. Wherever you're in the world, whatever you're doing, have an amazing day. Have an amazing evening. And as always, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.